What's going on? Welcome back to the podcast. On this episode, I speak with Matt Karll, vocalist for the hardcore band Gridiron, who are set to release their next album, Poetry from Pain, on May 30th through Blue Grape Music. If you like bands like E-Town Concrete, Hazen Street, and more, this is right up your alley. I had a great time talking with Matt, and hopefully you enjoy our conversation. But before we get to all that, I want to help remind you that you can support the podcast by heading over to your favorite podcast platform and drop a 5-star rating and review. It really does help out in a big way. Also, I want to let you know about SeatGeek giving first-time users $20 off their order. Again, $20 off your order by using promo code Denning at checkout. Also, the people over at Emails Not Dead are giving users 20% off their order using promo code Denning20 at checkout. Again, Denning20 at emails.dead.com. Shout out to them. And with everything out of the way, this is my chat with Matt Karll of Gridiron. Enjoy.
All right, looks like we are live now. So you're checking in from Philly then?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you ready for the draft?
I am. It's kind of boring having the 32nd pick in the draft, but it's also, pretty exciting that we had the 32nd pick in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good season for you guys.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I don't know if it was as fun as 2017 just because that was the first Super Bowl. This one, you kind of had the whole game to prepare for. It wasn't really in question throughout the whole entire game. So it just kind of felt a little different when they won, but it was still, I could get used to winning a few more of these. So,
Yeah, you'll never forget that either. I mean, I remember when 2017, when they won it, the August Burns Red guys were like through the roof in Portland. They were just partying in the green room, just hugging each other, high-fiving. It was like the moment of the century.
yeah, I mean, that's something that Philadelphia has been waiting quite literally forever for. And, at that point, everyone was pretty discouraged to the point where they thought it was never going to happen. I pretty much had it in my head that I was never going to see one before I died. And then they did it, and they did it with a backup quarterback and like against all odds. And there was just, beating Tom Brady, not only beating Tom Brady, but outplaying Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was one that I definitely will never forget.
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy year though. You guys just recently pulled up to the Northwest recently with Weapon X, I believe.
Yeah, we played just another gig, so it was a couple
Just
day
like the cover,
fest.
right?
Yeah, there was a bunch of sick bands on that.
Yeah, how was that?
It was awesome. Before I went to Seattle/Tacoma for the first time, that was like the number one spot that I really wanted to visit. Just, seeing pictures and seeing homies out there and stuff, it just seemed so awesome. And it lives up to the expectations. I love going out there. That's one of my favorite cities in the country to go to.
Yeah, I don't think you guys haven't played Portland, have you?
We haven't played Portland, no. No, I went so this was our second time playing Jag. Our first time we gave ourselves an extra day and we drove down to Portland for the day and hung out. And it's a really, really sick city too. So hopefully some point soon we get to play Portland.
Did you guys do the whole like Voodoo Donuts thing and like?
Yeah, all the tourist stuff.
Yeah, I mean, are you a big donut guy? Or are you
Uh,
what's your
yeah,
pleasure
yeah.
for food?
I'm a pretty big donut guy. I'm a pretty big food guy in general. So they were good. I think I had it in my head that they'd be like the best donuts I've ever had just because of like the hype around them. But that's kind of how, Philly is with cheesesteaks. There's cheesesteak spots that get put on a pedestal and they're fine, but they're not like the greatest thing ever. And that's kind of where I stood with Voodoo Donuts. But I'm also like an old school donut guy. I
Yeah.
don't need like all the fancy crazy. I don't need like gummy worms coming out of my donut. Just give me an old fashioned glaze and I'm good to go.
No, I mean, give me an apple fritter and I'm good to go, man.
Love an
Like,
apple fritter.
dude, apple fritters are the king of the donuts.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, if I'm gonna blow my calories on something, it's gonna be those.
There's a lot of them in there, so
Yeah, man, like 800 or something.
yeah.
You ever see how much a crumble cookie is?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, I know,
Uh,
right?
yeah, I try to avoid. I've been on my fitness journey recently, so I'm trying to avoid the crumble cookies. Another thing that sucks is how I didn't realize how expensive they are. I went in, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get 6 of them and I'm gonna like crush them throughout the week. It was like almost $50 for it was insane. There was like almost $50 for a dozen of them or something like that. But they are good, but they're also like not even cookies. They're fake cookies.
Yeah, they're a bomb though. Like I remember like I was dating my now wife and she comes in with a box of those cookies and a take and bake pizza. You know, I'm just doing my thing, I crush it. And I go to plug it into my fitness pal at the time. I'm like, oh, that can't be right. There's no way. It was like
The app
3,000
just
calories.
the app just shuts down, just
Right.
closes on you. It's like, we're not even doing all that math, bro.
Dude,
We're
how was your meme game? Because there's one of my favorites is like Macho Man Randy Savage in a car, like by himself. It's like you're afraid to tell your calorie calculator that you ate a whole cake.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be lying a little bit sometimes on that. Like if I'm within like, 50 or 60 calories,
Oh yeah.
I'll bump down the ounces of something I have just to stay in the green, you know?
You ever borrow from your calories for the next day?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've been in calorie debt before.
Yeah.
I was like, late at night, it's like, oh, if I eat McDonald's now, I'll just like kind of not eat breakfast tomorrow,
Mhm.
you know? Yeah. Yeah, it
Sometimes it's
sucks
worth
going to
it.
the caloric bank.
Yeah, man. Dude, I recommend Macro Factor. You ever hear about that?
No, is that an app?
It's a paid app. It's $70 for the year. Do you know who Jeff Nippert is?
Like I've heard that name
Yeah,
before,
he's a
yeah.
big weightlifting guy. He has like he goes by science and like the journals and all that stuff. He co-created it and like it's all AI based. So you give it a goal, punch in your stats. You got to be compliant with it. You weigh in daily and either it adjust calories up or down, or if you wanted to maintain. I mean,
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I
yeah,
just use Lose It.
that's a good app too.
Yeah. Yeah, you can like it tracks your macros and everything. So I feel so whack talking about this when we're a McDonald's band. So
Hey, yo, I
cut
haven't been
this.
in forever though because dude, they got so expensive so quick. I live literally like no lie, I could walk to one in 3 minutes or less, and
You
I
gotta
haven't
use the
gone.
app, bro. The app is
Right,
where it's at.
right.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, I mean, God, I used to work for one years back in the day, like double McDoubles and large fry. Remember when I got those? They were doing the Red Box coupons.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, they know how to market pretty well. So yeah, that app gets a stranglehold on me sometimes because everything's so expensive. But then you click that save 20% on $12 or more, and then you're like,
You can
all right,
negotiate
we're
with like,
still
all
old
right,
school prices now. So, but then that means I just get more food. So
that's right,
not really winning.
more protein. I mean, oh okay, you ordered 5 patties by themselves, and oh man, have you done a full US with Gridiron yet, or
No, no, the longest tour we've done, the longest US thing we've done in the States is not last 4th of this past 4th of July, the one before, us and Neverending Game did like 5 or 6 shows. And then the longest thing we've ever done as a band is this past summer we did Europe. And that was like 2 weeks.
that's
So
crazy?
yeah, longest US thing we're gonna be doing is coming up in a few weeks with Sanguisugabog and 200 Stab Wounds and Mutilatred. So I think that's like 2 weeks.
So if you're doing a never ending game run, that's kind of double duty for guitar.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how did he
Yeah,
hold?
we like putting him through the ringer. He'll complain about it, but he loves it.
Double the money though.
Yep. Yep.
But no, I mean, yeah. So this run with stab wounds and Shikabog, like it's how many dates? Like 10?
Yeah, I think it's like 10 shows over like 13 days or something like that. But we're playing a couple shows, so like there's a couple off days. So we're doing shows on those off days. Like the one is a Tuesday night, and we're gonna play in Atlantic City, and then we
Nice.
have one other on an off day in Columbia, South Carolina. So
Okay.
it'd be cool.
Yeah. Is that like the end of May when the album comes out, or?
So it'll be before the album comes
Okay.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be one more single that comes out before the tour, and then after the run is when the full record will be out.
I was thinking like, how are people best exposed to what your band does? I think after giving it some thought, you have the singles on YouTube, but then give Steven over at 197 a visit. I mean, he really has some tight stuff for your guys, like sets. I think he
Oh
might have like
yeah.
three different sets online.
Yeah, yeah, he's awesome, and the coolest thing about him is I swear he's literally in his whip driving from the show, uploading these videos, like,
That's crazy.
it's like an hour and a half and this shit's up already, it's crazy, yeah, he does amazing work, I love like, all the stuff he does with filming bands.
Yeah, I mean, I think he deserves more credit than he gets because, dude, when COVID shut everything down, I had nothing to do but work out. So I'm just like on an elliptical, on a treadmill, whatever, just jamming whatever sets he has up.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like during the pandemic, you went one of 2 ways, you either worked out all the time or you took the path that I took, which was do not work out at all and just play video games for, like, 18 hours a day.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I saw that the band kind of came through Call of Duty, and I'm like, man, I wish I was that good. I played Halo a lot, but I feel like Call of Duty is like another step above that.
Yeah, I'm not good at the game, but I'm a glue guy. Every team needs a dude that they can just blame when they fuck up. So like I
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
dude. I was the guy, the meme with the dude like this with all the knives in his back protecting my boys.
Mhm.
That was my job.
Now, I will tell you, I did upgrade to the Series X for the new NCAA game that came out.
Yeah, dude. NCAA, I'm so glad it's back. That game is so awesome.
So good. Like, it is so worth NIL coming back and everything. Like, I will
Yeah,
for sure.
I was worried because the last couple Maddens haven't been that great, but, this
No.
game scratched that NCAA scratched the itch for sure.
Yeah, and, like, it hadn't been around for, like, 10 years.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's that. I mean, I think Madden's kind of come around a little bit.
Yeah, it's gotten better. I haven't gotten the last couple, especially now that NCAA is out, it's like I might not ever buy Madden again.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, you're kinda busy. I mean, because what else do you do outside of the band?
I work. I went to like I just finished school a couple months ago. So yeah, I've been working, going to school and trying to handle, all the band stuff. Uh we handled all the logistics and, the booking and the flights and the hotels and merch and all that stuff up until not too long ago. And then our boy Mike, who is the other guitar player of Neverending Game, stepped in and kind of took a lot of that workload off of us for us, which has been really, really nice. And he's just the man for doing
Yeah.
that.
It feels like it's coming together pretty quickly in the last couple of years, and since, like, you know, No Good Goodbyes came out in 2022, it's like, you got a really good press team, shout out to Adam Splitter, they are among the best, and then you got management, I mean, you got a booking agent, I mean, you got everything going on for you guys right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, a big thing with that is, like, this band was never supposed to even play a show or
Yeah.
record music or do anything. So, the fact that, like, we're kind of stepping into that world now with having other people work with us, it's a huge thing for us as a band to keep I feel like the word in-house gets thrown around a lot, but, that's something that's really important to us is, all our friends are the ones that are involved with this band, and that's the way I always wanna keep it, I just want a real, close knit, all my homies helping out, doing whatever they do. And I think that's a good formula to have.
Yeah, I mean, but even the band can fit in anywhere, though, I feel like, you know, speaking of Nothing Nowhere being on the album, I mean, you could play that tour he's on. I mean, he's going out on a headliner in, like, a month. You guys
Yeah.
could fit on you
Yeah.
could fit there.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a cool thing about this band is we never really put ourselves in a corner. We came out of the gate, a little tongue in cheek, there's
Yeah.
some goofy stuff and we're all self-aware. We all know that. There's a fine line to walk. When you're doing things like that with music, you can cross over into that like cheesy lane very easily, but we're all, pretty mindful of that when we're making music or and doing stuff like that. But yeah, the one thing I'm really proud of about this band is just how versatile everyone
Mhm.
is, with writing, and I think that really shows in this record that's coming out, is no song really sounds like another song on the record, but they all sound like Gridiron songs.
Definitely. I mean, what is your personal favorite?
For me, it's probably the song that I don't say or well, I do the chorus on,
Yeah.
the Still Playing for Keeps, the Big Umbrella remix.
Yeah, okay.
Um So, like, when I was younger, I obviously was like, I loved Limp Bizkit as a kid.
Mhm.
Um, you know, um, there's people that are like ashamed of saying that now, but I don't care. You know what I mean? it was a important, you know, moment in my life with music, you know, when I listened to Limp Bizkit all the time. And they did the role in the air raid assault with
Mhm.
DMX, Method Man, Redman. So
Urban Assault
that was like
Vehicle,
a
baby.
huge inspiration. Yeah, that was a huge inspiration for that track. I always wanted to do something like that. So we basically just took the guitars from a song that we recorded on the From Within Records Once Unity comp. And we just pulled the guitars, and our boys Felons and Nick Herman turned the guitars into a beat. And then, we got three of my favorite current like underground hip hop artists on the track, and I'm just really happy with how that came together. I've always wanted to do something like that.
Yeah, you don't see it a lot with a lot of, like, hardcore records. You might see it with, like, Terror, or you might see it with, like what am I mean, like, Cold World did the track with,
Sean Price.
yeah, right, but not much else.
Yeah, yeah, and it's cool, I feel like, that's just another ode to bands that, show, versatility to be able to do that and pull it off and not make it feel weird,
Yeah,
it's something like, us doing that, it's just like, "Okay, yeah, that's like a natural progression for Gridiron is to do something like that," so
for sure. I mean, and you mentioned, like, all the songs sound different from each other. I would get that. I mean, it sounds like E-Town and Trapped Under Ice and Hazen Street, and those are bands like that. I love those bands.
Right,
Like,
right, and, like, I mean, you have the Still Playing for Keeps remix, and this track right after that just sounds like a Rob Zombie song,
yeah,
so, like, yeah.
Big Body Bess, he wasn't he known for his work with Action Bronson?
Yeah, yeah, he was on Fuck That's Delicious, he was on a bunch of his tracks, he is just, like, the absolute man, love him to
Yeah, I
death,
was like, "Where is he?
that's
Where?"
my guy,
I'm like, "Where
um
did he where was he from?" Like, I knew him from somewhere.
yeah, yeah, he's from that camp, uh he's just like a one of one. Like everything he says is hilarious. He's just like a walking like punchline, like after punchline. I'm never around him and not just laughing my ass off the whole entire time. He's just the coolest dude in the world. Was really psyched that he was down to do that for us, and it came out really cool. And our inspiration for something for that track was like how Obituary did Belituary. Um, so that was something that we kind of wanted to pull off, and I think we did a good job. And like anytime I get to hear Best talk shit, I'm
Yeah.
down with. So.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like you're into stand-up comedy.
I like stand up. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
because I mean, there's some big kind of one-liners on the album, and, like,
Yeah, yeah,
he
I'm a big, like even with rap, I'm a big, like, punchline rap guy, like, obviously, like, Lil Wayne is, like, the GOAT for punchlines, throughout his whole entire career, but there was this Philly rapper, he was, like, pretty popular in the early 2000s, name was Cassidy, and he's, like, one of the
yeah.
best, like, punchline battle rappers of all time, so I grew up watching a lot of his videos and, like, having all his CDs and stuff like that, so, yeah, punchlines are a big thing for me, and they're cool in a song, when they're used right and they're used in moderation. Like a Gridiron song where it's just punchline after punchline after punchline, I think would be kind of stupid, So I tried to sprinkle them in tastefully throughout the record.
Yeah, you build to it, I mean, but no, I mean, I just, like, like, I feel like he's a funny guy, like, he has to be. With if
Yeah,
you come
I
with
love
some.
jokes. Love
Yeah,
joking with the boys. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, then, again, you guys can fit in pretty much anywhere. I mean, a tour with Nothing Nowhere, do you guys wanna do, like, another, like, hardcore tour? If you
I
guys
mean,
could.
we're a hardcore band. We love hardcore, all of us. We've
Yeah,
all been going to shows for I mean, I've been going to shows for over 15 years at this point, coming up on 20 years. So, we're always going to be a hardcore band. We are a hardcore band, so I will never not want to do tours with other hardcore bands.
yeah, I mean, even a tour like Turnstile would be fantastic.
Yeah, love those guys too. Yeah. I mean, and they were really helpful throughout the whole navigation of, us moving on to another label. They were really they were there for us and, provided a lot of great insight. So yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, speaking of, Blue Grape, tell me about, like, how that kinda process happened because they're a relatively new label. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're a new label, but the people who run the label, Dave and Susie, shout out to them, amazing people. They worked at Roadrunner together for,
Okay,
in the
that's
90s for 25 plus years. So it's a new label, but they've earned their stripes, before starting this label, and they've just been absolutely incredible to us with everything. They trust us, which is like number one thing for me. They let us cook, which feels really really good. And like the whole way it kind of came about is it came about just how everything else in this band has come about. Everything's been very organic. Nothing has been forced. We weren't like looking to sign to another label. We were just playing shows, and we played a show out in California that was like really crazy. And, we started having some talks after that, and one thing led to another, and here we are now. So,
oh yeah. I mean, with the new record, was there anyone else that you guys tried to get on the record that you guys couldn't initially due to, like, timing or money or
no, not really. With the world was our oyster with that. I had some crazy ideas, but it was one of those things where I didn't want to just go from LP1 and then have LP2 just be like insane. Like as
Yeah,
far as like features, like it wouldn't feel organic, to have like, I don't know. It's like, oh, well, LP1, it's all hardcore guest spots, and LP2, they have Travis Scott on it. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like there needs to be
yeah,
like, I think it's everyone that we wanted on the record is on the record. So,
for sure. Do you feel like the label would be open to, like, even, like, remixes down the road? Say, like
oh yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's something that we threw around before, is like remixing a track eventually that is on this record or something. And I think that's really I love when bands do that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Because I mean, I can see there's definitely labels out there who are like, "No, absolutely not." But, like, yeah, you take a track and then maybe Justice jumps on a year later down the road. It kinda revitalizes, like, and brings new attention to the record.
Right. Right. And I mean I love hip hop. Hip hop's my first love in this world, and every song had not as much anymore, but I mean like in the late 90s and like the early 2000s, even to mid 2000s, every hit song had a remix.
Yeah.
Every single hit song had a remix. So, yeah, I would love to do a couple remixes down the road.
Yeah, I mean, I got, like, a movie soundtrack kind of vibe and, like, video game soundtrack vibe from the album too. It's like, yeah, okay, I can like Madden '08 or, uh, gosh, what else? What other big
And
soundtracks were there
NFL
back then?
Blitz.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, be pretty sick to have a song in Madden. That's like a pretty cool bucket list thing that if that ever happened. But I mean, I guess considering it to sound like a movie soundtrack is kind of cool because like in this record there's like, fun bouncy songs, and then there's like some more like melodic, like more thoughtful lyrically, kind of how like movies have like funny moments and then they have serious moments and sad moments, and that's kind of,
Yeah,
I feel like we captured that with this record pretty well.
definitely. Was there a lot of pressure going into this record or
No, we
okay.
never. I mean, the, this band, we all look at it the same exact way. It's all house money. Like I said before, we were never supposed to play a show, never supposed to record anything. So anything we do is just a bonus since day one.
Yeah.
So the only pressure I feel like I had personally is pressure that I put on myself just to, make sure I'm leveling up as a musician. So
Yeah, and
nothing,
that's
nothing, no outside pressure from anyone.
yeah, because I mean, that's good though, because I feel like a lot of bands are like, "Well, if it doesn't work out, then that's kind of it," you know?
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We had a hell of a time, and I just go back to work. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean? It's not, it's yeah, whatever happens, happens. I don't get too high, I don't get too low, and I just take shit a day at a time.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any big goals for the rest of the year? I mean, you have, maybe a full US that you
Uh,
wanna go
Ja
after or
Japan is
yeah.
the big one for me. That's like the ultimate, to go play some shows in Japan.
Yeah,
That
is
would
there a
definitely
certain
be
band
one.
you would wanna, you know, tag along
I mean,
with or
I love all like, Japanese hardcore bands like Numb, Sand, you know, the they're all awesome. So just going over there and playing a couple shows with them would be amazing.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a lot of money to go down there.
Yeah.
But no, I know those fans definitely show a lot of love though to anyone who
Japanese
comes out there.
hardcore is incredible.
Um, man, what else? What are the things that people? Let's think. If you like E Town, you like Hazen Street, you like Gridiron, but what other things do you think? If you like these things, you'll love Gridiron too, like pro wrestling or uh
Food and football, that's an easy one.
yeah, Barstool Sports. We got to figure out how to get them to talk to you too, because I feel like Barstool Sports would show you guys some love.
Yeah, I mean, we're I'm cool with Robbie over there at
Oh,
Barstool,
Robbie
Robbie
Fox.
Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm sure at some point something will happen with them, and, this just goes back to, not forcing anything. If the opportunity presents itself, awesome. If not, that's totally fine too. So, yeah, yeah, that would be cool.
Well, I mean, I would like to see you get paid and see you guys have a lot of money and success and have a fun time.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
goal.
a Lambo and Eagles season tickets would be pretty fire, but,
Well, just even
if
the
it
ability
happens,
to
it
buy as
happens.
many
Good
as
too.
many shoes as you want to. I mean,
Right.
you know,
I probably don't need any more, but
hey, I mean, one of the things that you got to buy and buy things that keep you off the ground: shoes,
that's right.
bed, car.
Yep,
So
walking around barefoot wouldn't be too fun, would it? So,
no, I mean, it's just like I don't. I think music does a lot for people. I mean, it keeps you motivated, keeps you pumped up. I mean, do you have any like go-to workout songs or songs that just keep you amped or?
uh, I mean, I kinda have, like, a playlist where I, like, cycle things in and out.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I listen to a lot of, like, early 2000s, like, New York rap, like The Lox and, like, Jadakiss and,
Mhm.
like, DMX, obviously. Stuff like that is usually my go-to for when I'm in the gym or I'm
Yeah.
listening to Hatebreed, one of the 2.
Yes. Yes. No, like my point is like I want people that are giving me that kind of bump. I want them to do well and not like have to scrape by and
Right,
go from town to town and like, oh, I got gas money for the van. Cool. Or I'm having to go to the dollar menu for, dinner at night.
right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the dollar menu.
No, but
I
I
could
want
have
everyone to do well.
I could have $10 billion and I'm still doing the 2 for $3.50 McDouble deals, so
Sure. But, mortgages are expensive,
right.
marriages are
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah. Yeah,
People got
we,
to eat, man.
yeah, we're just gonna keep doing our thing and see where it goes, all of us in the band, we all have careers and stuff like that, so, we got our bases covered.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I guess it takes all the pressure off then. What is something about the record that nobody would know unless you told them directly?
That's a good question. Um, that it took 3 years to write? Well, I guess
Okay.
everyone will know that because that's when the last one came out, but no, I feel like with the first record, we kind of found our lane in the
Yeah.
music world, and, this last record is kinda just really putting the foot on the gas and driving down that lane, so, um, I just think of what it's the same, we're still Gridiron, it just feels like a natural progression from the first record and, hopefully a level up and people rock with it.
Like an arrival almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Um, I was thinking that so you worked with Nothing Nowhere and did he cut his vocals like outside of the studio or he sent them in or
Yeah. The only person that I went into the studio with to record, and it was just me and Bess, and like I just drove up to New York and met
okay.
him at a studio up there and was just in there chilling with him when he recorded his spot. But everyone else was like a remote,
Okay.
because like Daniel's son is Toronto based, Pro Dillinger is from New York, and Jay Royale is from Baltimore. And then we have Mike Missing Link on a track. Shout out to Missing Link, the
Yeah,
guys.
I didn't think about that for sure.
Yeah,
But
so just logistically, it's easiest for everyone to kind of do it at their own convenience, and that's how that was done.
yeah, because he recorded with what's the he engineer,
Yeah, Andy Nelson at Bricktop in Chicago.
but everything else was pretty much self-produced then.
He did both our LPs.
Okay, so he did both. He
Yeah,
did producing and
yeah,
mixing. Okay,
yep,
cool.
yep.
Would you ever consider working with like, Nothing Nowhere for production? Because I feel like after maybe he kind of winds down and maybe doesn't hit the road as much anymore, like he would be a fantastic producer.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is like a savant at anything that involves music. He's just amazing at everything. Um, I love working with Andy. I think even for the next record, like if we were to go to like another studio to record, I would want Andy to be there. I mean, he's just like so in tune with like the sound that bands want to get. Um, he's just like so easy to work with, such a cool guy, love him to death. And he's made both our records, both our LPs so far, sound amazing to me. So, I would love to just keep working with him. If it ain't broke,
Okay,
don't fix it.
for sure.
You
What
know,
other records has he worked on that you love?
he's done the latest Pain of Truth LP. He's
Okay.
done Harm's Way. He's done Never Ending Game LPs. He did the Missing Link LP. I mean, he's any, a good amount of the big hardcore records that have come out within the last like 7 years have went through Bricktop. So
Okay, for sure. And then pre-orders for the record are available where?
Etchman,
Okay,
screen
Edgeman
printing.
Printing.
Yep. Blue Grape has a variant. Devil Dog Distro has a UK variant. So yeah, there's a couple places to go pick up the new record.
Yeah, for sure. So there's LPs available, or is it a CD? Or
LP, Evil Greed also. Evil Greed has it as well.
okay, and then
Yep, the LP is available now, and then CDs are to come, I believe.
okay. And do you have any touring plans confirmed for the fall, or like are you guys kind of still talking about it?
Yeah,
Or
we got a couple things cooking. Things that might end up being announced soon. I'm not sure. Yeah, we got a couple cool things in the works. So, hopefully some of those pan out
I
and
hope
they get
so,
announced soon. Yeah,
because there's too many tracks off the record where I'm like, take a Army of None. That track it should be a setlist staple.
right.
Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was made for live set.
Love that. I love doing that. Track is going to be so fun to play live. I mean, Will and everyone else were in their bag with that one. Mully just insane drums on the whole record. He's
Mhm.
like a goated drummer. Yeah, that song is a ton of fun. Big chorus, catchy chorus. Very melodic.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the other tracks on the record. Yeah, that one's going to be a fun one to play.
Yeah, I mean, coming back to 197, like, it gives a good snapshot for what your sets are like, but with the whole record in play and eligible to play, like, keep your head on a swivel. Like,
That's what we want. So
so okay, so people may or may not get a chance to kind of rock out and vibe out. You guys are doing Furnace Fest.
yeah, playing
That would be
Furnace Fest.
crazy.
Yeah, we're playing that. We're playing Tied Down in June in Detroit. That's good. That's like one of my favorite fests in throughout the year. Just have so much fun there every single year. Jimmy Curtis and that team over there just does an amazing job. And then we got a couple other things on the books right now that probably will be announced soon. June 7th, we have a record release at the First Unitarian Church in Philly, and that's with Eternal Champion, which is like one of my favorite bands ever. Just straight Viking music. Fatal Realm, Burning Lord. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really sick show.
Is it already sold out or?
No, it's just got announced not too long ago. So we have one
Okay.
more band that we can't announce yet that probably by the time this is out will be announced. But yeah, tickets are going well, so don't sleep on that.
Yeah, that's a real kind of who's who venue, especially in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
look my favorite venue in the world. So
Okay.
I've dropped many of sweat in that venue. So
I have not had the chance to go out there yet, but yeah, I mean, Pennsylvania is definitely an awesome state.
the best state.
Yeah, I mean,
It is.
I've been to Pittsburgh and I've been to Lancaster, but
I mean,
not
so you're
Philly.
close. You're close to Philly and Lancaster. So
Yeah, because I mean the ABR guys are in Lancaster,
right,
and then I have family in Pittsburgh, and then
nice.
yeah, so
Well, June 7th. June 7th.
we're trying,
go.
baby. All right, Matt. Hey, I appreciate your time. Where else can people find you if they want to like say what's up or kind of?
Just the Gridiron Instagram, my personal Instagram.
Okay.
That's it, pretty much.
Do you like stream it all like on Twitch or do you?
No. We threw around the idea of doing that with NCAA actually, and
Okay.
I went out and like I bought like a real nice webcam for my PC and like bought all kinds of shit, and then we just never did it.
Yup,
So.
dude. When COVID hit, everybody became a streamer, and it was like, yo, man, it's just a tax write off my 1099. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you can do that, but
Right.
go ahead and do that. I guess if it works for you. Like, no, man, just go under the band LLC. I'm like, okay, not your accountant, so go ahead. But yeah, man, cool, man. Album comes out in about a month.
Yep, getting there. Home stretch.
Do you know? So the third single drops when? In about a week?
I believe 2 weeks. I believe it drops May 1st.
Okay, May 1st. Cool, man. But hey, anything else you want to kind of drop there before we log off here?
That's it. Shout out Philly Hardcore and go Birds.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here.